and welcome to Studio
Set
Stage, a weekly podcast with us, Cynthia Mallard,
and MARQ, where we take you from the studio to the set to the stage
in the world of entertainment.
Hey,
what's going on?
We're back of Studio Set Stage. I'm Cynthia Mallard.
And I'm MARQ.
Hey, gotta say thanks for joining us for another week of Studio Set and
Stage.
Listen, want to say first of all, thanks for reaching out to us. We appreciate all of the congratulations on Instagram, Facebook.
Yes, and we're on iTunes, and you can listen to us on Spotify as well. And we just appreciate everything, and just keep it coming. We need the love.
Like we
the love.
said, we appreciate the love. Like I said, this is a new podcast.
Yes.
And like I said, we're getting great feedback. So we'll just go ahead and talk about it. We know that everybody watched the BET Hip Hop Awards, right?
Yes, the BET Hip Hop Awards 2018, which took place in Miami.
Yes.
It was filmed earlier this month, and it aired this past Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And Cardi B was the big winner at this year's
That's
BET
my
Awards.
girl. I love some Cardi B. Oh my God, I love her. I love her.
Yes, indeed. I mean, she's doing her thing.
Yeah.
The reality star turned hip hop phenomenon.
Yeah.
She definitely took home 4 awards.
4 awards. She is so boss. And you know what? People talk about how she look and stuff like that. But I'm not even worried about that. I think she is boss. Literally owned up, walked in, found the bag and took the bag, snatched the bag, I should say.
Okay, yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, she definitely did.
Yeah.
She definitely knew what she wanted to accomplish.
That's right.
As far as her goals. And, it wasn't easy. People think she was an overnight success, but she had been at it and just was committed.
Grinding.
And she grinded out, and she's now reaping the benefits of the hard work.
And look great post-baby. No, she just dropped a baby, right?
Yes, she did.
All right. And she looked better now than she did before the baby. So, yeah.
Yes.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Definitely. She took home 4 awards, like I said, including MPV of the Year and the Made You Look Award for Best Hip Hop Style. A lot of people like her dresses and how she and her glam and all of that stuff.
The bodysuit she be wearing, all glammed out. I'd be like, Lord, if I could just lose about 100 pounds, maybe I could have Cardi B's body. Maybe.
Well, they used to say, keep hope alive. You got to keep going.
In other words, that's not going to ever happen.
Well, you said that, I didn't.
Okay, cool,
right.
cool.
But definitely kudos and shots. Definitely shout out to her and her team for achieving those goals.
Totally.
Also, it was a good night for the Carters.
Yeah.
And if you don't know the Carters, that's Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Congratulations, Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yes, indeed. They took home awards for Album of the Year and Best Collaboration.
Totally deserved.
Between a duo and group.
Totally deserved.
For Everything Is Love project. And definitely they just wrapped up their big On the Run 2 tour, which broke several records during the course of the tour.
Yeah.
So giving them a shout out, definitely. And also, in addition to that, rapper Lil Wayne received the I Am Hip Hop Award.
Tunchi.
Yes.
What? Okay.
For his achievement and his career, that's expanded over a decade and more. He started out with Cash Money as a teenager. He was 14 years old when he was with the Hot Boys.
Wow.
And
I remember the Hot Boys.
Yes, indeed.
Right? Awesome.
Yes, indeed.
Well, you know what? I just wanted to say hats off to Lil Wayne. But, one thing I admire about Lil Wayne and the whole Young Money crew, how they really depended on each other to elevate each other. It's they didn't have to go outside and say, try to prove to someone else. It's they had their own clique, their own crew, and they came up. That's what I love about them.
Well, the thing is, you can't be an island in this, and I think teamwork makes the dream work.
Right.
And when you have like-minded individuals coming together and they have a vision,
that's right there with you,
and they want to implement it,
exactly,
and they're moving on the same course, great things can be achieved.
We always talk about in Studio Set Stage everyone's trying to get on. Everyone's trying to shine. And a lot of times we want to reach out to the people who are already like the multi-millionaires. We want to reach out to the people who are already rocking the My Box, and that type of thing.
Right.
We all do. But it's interesting that there are people who you need and who can help you who are like right next to you. Like they right there in your community.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it takes a network of people that understands that and that you can connect with. And, you don't have to go through loopholes or go through, hoops to get to them. Sometimes the resource or the tools that you need can be right under your nose. It's just having the vision to clarify those things, clear the clutter, and get to what you want to achieve in your vision.
I think it's about time. I think sometimes we reach out to people who are already accomplished because we trying to get on, but we trying to get on fast.
Oh yeah. So, well, and in this in this nature of the platform right now, everything is instantaneous. Yeah. Everything is microwavable, and like I've said before, in this industry, it's an end result. People always see the end result. They don't understand what it takes starting at point 1. They just see it at point 100.
Right.
But you have to know what it takes to make the first step.
Right.
And a lot of us don't get that because of the platform. They think, well, I can just do this and I arrive there. No, that's the illusion of it.
Yep.
The great thing about the greatest entertainers in the world, when you think about it, they make it look effortless. But there is a lot of effort that goes into doing that.
Wow.
It's
an art. It's an art to it.
It's an art to it. It's a method to it, and it's a strategy. But definitely going back to those that are successful. Again, like kudos to Lil Wayne. He has stood the course and he stayed consistent amidst all of the controversy and things, because we all go through our ups and downs and our hills and valleys.
Right.
But Lil Wayne has transcended the test of time, and also kudos to him. He just released the Carter's 5 finally. So definitely, it was well deserved.
He released it kind of quietly too. I think like that's the new trend now, right? It seems like everybody's just dropping their music like very silently, like overnight. Where it used to be like a big fanfare or you kind of knew what was coming. Like now everybody's like doing it secretly, like mysteriously dropping like their projects overnight.
Yeah, they are. Usher,
that's new. That's pretty new. Yeah.
Well, it's been around for a while now. If you look back and, not to go into a long drawn out thing, but the history of the music industry, it really has been just dismantled, but it arose through the advent of the way music is distributed, like through the digital platform. In terms of marketing and promotions, it changed. But also because you have social media and you have all of these things in technology, where it's interactive now,
right.
And where now the listener, they have more choice, and so they want access and accessibility to that product.
I bet you it's cheaper too.
To a degree, it is.
You can just put your project online and just be like, boom! Did you hear that, guys? You can put your project online and it be released and everybody hear it.
Yes, definitely. And so, it definitely changed the way music was marketed and promoted. Just recently, this past week as well, Usher released a surprise project,
My Baby Daddy,
with a collaboration with Zaytoven, the producer.
My Baby Daddy. You didn't hear me when I said My Baby Daddy.
Yeah, well,
everybody's baby daddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a sip on that.
Everybody, hey, I mean, come on now. Y'all know y'all love Usher. And my sisters, we love us some Usher.
Yeah, Usher, another veteran in the game, just celebrated his 40th birthday. And as in relation to that, he decided, well, I want to release some music.
Yeah.
And so that project with Usher and Zaytoven, the producer, they went in a couple of weeks. And during that week, they came up with about 8 songs of material. And when they compiled it, it was like, I think this would be cool. Let me release it during my birthday.
I'll be honest with you. He's got a song on there about birthday. I think it's called Birthday, and I absolutely think it's fire. You know, like I said, StudioSetStage. We are headquartered here in Atlanta.
In the ATL.
And Usher, like you said, the whole birthday project, he had a skating rink party. So a lot of you, if you don't know, I'm an avid skater. Like I'm a roller rink chick. You know, I grew up part of my life in Brooklyn, New York. I was born there. And, you know, every week we would go to the skating rink. And even if we didn't go to the skating rink, we would hit the pavement, like on the concrete, you know what I'm saying? I used to have those little like metal skates or whatever. But Usher, he had a birthday party, but had it at the skating rink here at, I think it was Cascade is actually where he had his birthday party.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't skate when I was growing up where they had like ice skating rink near where I was, but I was like, I'm not into ice skating. I bowled and I played basketball.
You grew up in Tuskegee, right?
Yeah, I played basketball.
Yeah.
We had a skating rink, but it stayed open for about a week, and that was it. That I remember that as a
They
kid.
weren't playing that.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was just different things, but yeah, I mean, roller skating, man. Bounce, all of that stuff. You know, you do your thing. You do your thing on it. I've
been skating since I was a little
I lived through you vicariously from the skates. You know, you give me, I need some knee pads, helmet, and all that kind of stuff, so I won't fall and bust shot. You know.
Yeah.
But
you know what? If you're just joining us, this is StudioSetStage. I'm Cynthia Mallard, along with
and I'm Mark Dean.
Mark Dean.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
In studio, and like I said, we're taking you from the studio to the set to the stage, and just kind of providing. Hopefully, we are providing some kind of inspiration for you to jump into this arena. Like I said, I've spent years working in like radio and television, acting, and Mark Dean, you done.
Yes, I started out teenager, first record deal, and it got shelved. And then from there, I realized it was a business. And so I started to get into my songwriting and just performing and doing things. And so from that period, you know, now I'm instructing. I instruct entertainment business. Also been in film, television, and all of that. So, I mean, we actually bring a lot to the table, but we also want to share our experiences, you know, the highs and the lows as it relates to the studio, the set, to the stage. And so we hope you can definitely grab something from this. And again, thank you for all the support, all the love for this podcast. We definitely appreciate it. And we're going to continue.
You know, we're going to continue. It's all about, you know what, a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, we want to talk about the money. It is about the money. So we know about getting to the bag. Yeah, we know about that, right? But we're hoping that maybe if you feel like StudioSetStage is your gift. Like if you feel like this year you wake up in the morning, you like, okay, God has blessed me. This is what I'm supposed to do in the world. We're telling you to follow it. Right?
Yes.
But you need mentors. So yeah, we have the podcast, StudioSetStage, but you need mentors. You can listen to us, but also find those people in your community that are doing it, that are actually in the business, and they're going every day. They may be going to a set, a film set. They may be going into a music studio. They may be going into a voiceover booth. Find those people and latch onto them, because you can learn so much from them.
Right. And at the end of the day, remember, everybody puts their pants on the same way.
What? You better say what?
Everybody breathes.
God.
Everybody bleeds.
Say it again.
You're going to bleed. You know, we all bleed. We all have blood flowing through our veins, through our veins. And, you know, you got to understand that. And you have to stay, you know, positive. You have to stay committed, because it's not for the faint. You know, and this is very unorthodox. There are no rules, but there is a process. And once you understand that, and then knowing that in this entertainment industry, when you talk about money, money isn't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen.
Oh yeah, you need it.
But you, yeah, you do. But you have to understand how that relates to your craft and putting value on what you bring to the table in regards to your talent. And when you put value on that and understand that time, utilizing time the proper way and making those connections and understanding the due diligence, you know, you can't be lazy and it's not given.
You can't be what?
You can't be lazy.
Lazy, the L word, lazy.
You can't be lazy about it. You know, if you equate the effort with the faith, you can move mountains, as they say.
Move
so
mountains. I like that.
we want to definitely encourage you. We don't want to discourage anybody. We want to make sure that you get this and take what we're giving you, the tools and the resources, and run with it.
And like in a couple of weeks, we will be having like some amazing friends that we know. So we're like calling upon like our friends, like we've grown up in the business or whatever, to come in and kind of parlay their experience,
Yes.
how they've made it. We've got
definitely.
some friends who work at local television. We've got some people who work in acting, who are national, like people that you would recognize in films and TV and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
music,
that. So, and
yes,
music also.
exactly.
So be sure to continue to listen, because I'm sure that you can benefit from all that will be taking place. So speaking of benefit, don't forget, it was the 10th annual Variety Power of Women Luncheon that happened Friday. It was presented by Lifetime. It was in Beverly Hills, of course, but it was a movement. It was an award show. It was hosted by boss chick. I like to say that word, boss chick. Jennifer Lewis from Blackish. You know her as the grandma or whatever. But honorees included Emma Gonzalez, our girl Tiffany Haddish, Regina King, Natalie Portman, and Lena Waithe lit up the ballroom at the Beverly Wilshire Four Seasons Hotel. And of course, lots of like awesome speeches. Of course, it's part of the Me Too movement.
Yes.
Female identity, empowering us, women in Hollywood and outside of Hollywood. Like I said, for so long, women in this industry, especially all my sister girls who are listening, you're wanting a role in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? You're wanting a role in TV, film, or whatever. And you had these men in the way who felt like you've got to do whatever I say to get that role or to move up in the business. And, we're saying no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This Me Too movement, the TimesUp movement, it is strong and it is here to stay, Well,
you have to think about it. I mean, women are just remarkable. And definitely, as they say, with the sex, you guys have the power. You are very powerful, because if it was not for women, the human race would not exist. So we in turn, and as a male, as a man
in business,
I definitely respect, and I have some of my mentors that I look up to are women. I understand, even going back to just when you strip it down, my mother definitely instilled in me certain things that helped me to become a man.
Wonderful.
So we have to give and pay homage and respect our women.
And feel like we are equal. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
the Me Too movement, the TimesUp movement, it's about equality. You know what I'm saying? And not feeling like you're so much superior that you can inflict sexual assault on me and that I'm going to be quiet and take it because that's the way it's always been. It's a new time for all my women who are listening. Like, join the TimesUp movement. I am a host here at StudioSetStage, and I am totally on board. I mean, this is a time of love. Honestly, this is a time of love, and it's a time that we, even not just women in Hollywood, women, I don't care if you're in the hood. Like, this is a time that you should be banding together with your females, with your sisters, and then also with the men, like, Mark Dean, what I'm saying? Yes. Everybody matters, and everybody should be treated equally and with respect and as a human being.
Right. And I will say this, coming from the male perspective again, you should never infringe your will upon a woman.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, back in the day, the old school guys, they would say, well, if you pay attention, a woman actually sets the precedent for if she's interested in talking to you on that level. But that's a whole nother can of worms. But I will say that, as men, we should never infringe our will upon a woman, and look at them and respect the woman. Respect her for who she is. And I definitely agree. As a co-host of Studio Set Stage, I want to say that, I champion the Me Too movement. I champion the Time's Up movement because these things need to be brought to the surface.
That's right.
And, I think it's changed for the better. I think it's going to be improving, just the whole platform as to what goes on behind the scenes. Like, again, this is a end result thing, but we don't know about the trials and tribulations that goes on. Like they say, some of the greatest entertainers of the world, they make it look effortless, and that's part of it. It's entertainment. And so, the masses, they use and they utilize entertainment to live vicariously and escape what they're dealing with. So we got to understand that, in respect to that, I definitely applaud. Again, females, I applaud you as my co-host for taking up the mantle and pushing forward.
Wonderful.
Definitely.
Well, like I said, it was the Variety Power of Women Luncheon. Lena D. Waite, honored for her work with the Trevor Project.
Right.
That's a nonprofit that works on suicide prevention for the LGBTQ youth.
Yes.
Of course, we talked about Tiffany Haddish was honored. You know what was so interesting? She was like, one of her comments, she was like, she said a lot of people, along the way mentioned that she needed to be her. You know what I'm saying? When she was like trying to enter the business, trying to book gigs and things like that. And a lot of times, a lot of us don't have those mentors when we are coming up. Like, we don't have the people who say, well, Cynthia, be yourself, or Mark Dean, be yourself. Like, it's like everybody's like trying to change you to be what they want. But what's even funnier was she told the crowd at the Power of Women Luncheon that she was trying to be a white woman for a long time. She was trying to be a white woman for a long time. Said she had did her 23andMe genetic code.
Oh wow, that's not good.
To figure out, say is she white or whatever. But also, let's see, veteran actress, boss Regina King. Of course, she was also honored for working with the I Have a Dream LA Foundation. Of course, whose mission is to empower children in low-income communities. And also in attendance, Mark, was our girl director Gina Prince Blackwood, and the new first president of the TimesUp movement, an organization, Miss Lisa Borders. She left. I think she left being the president of the WNBA organization. So now she's president of the TimesUp movement. So awesome. Big ups to her.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, indeed. Exactly. Yes, indeed. Kudos to that whole, like I said, that whole movement again. Now. Definitely not to digress. Okay. But this was something that popped up. As you know, Drake, of course, he's now currently on his tour with the Migos, and is selling out nationwide. But they had a story dealing with the whole, I don't know, a couple of months ago, you guys heard about the debacle between the battle between Pusha T and Drake, and all those things. And
that's still going on?
Well, it blew out of proportion, but it came back because recently Jay Prince, which has been noted for discovering Drake, he basically responded. And this comes on the tail of, there was a special that was done on HBO where Drake spoke about the feud between him and Kanye on the HBO show, which is produced by LeBron James, called The Shop. And after that interview live, Pusha appeared on the Joe Budden podcast, where he exposed Drake's producer, which is Noah 40, and they call him 40, as the one to expose information about his son. But Drake, in that special, he mentioned not the boiling point. He said was in that battle. And of course, in hip hop, they always have these battles. But he said what kind of pushed the straw was the fact that Pusha T mentioned his producer, which suffers from multiple sclerosis, and he's had some life altering events, and he's even threatened his health, and it's affected his health.
Wow.
And he said, well, this was one of the things that he said, when you attack me or you attack my son or different things like that, he said, you know, I know that comes with the territory. But when you attack a friend, you know, that's suffering from a health issue, and you wish death upon him, you know, he said that was kind of the thing that almost pushed him to the brink. But Jay Prince, but Jay Prince said, you know, he responded after he heard that with Pusha T, said, well, I won this, and now you're still elaborating on it, so that means I must have pushed a button. Well, Jay Prince, he said, quote, I don't consider this a beef anymore. Pusha is like an ant to us, like an ant that crawl around, you know. We could smash him anytime we chose to, if that's something we wanted to do. But that's not the case.
Really?
Here, you know, I came involved to put this to rest. As far as I'm concerned, this is dead. But this is strictly an act of damage control. So, basically, I say this to say that, you know, these guys that's coming up in the game, I remember being a teenager and listening to the East Coast, West Coast beef. And to see that and to see it being squashed, I'm glad, but it's also a detriment on the culture. And again, we just talked about hip hop. It's one of the top genres in the music industry.
Billion-dollar business.
And we have to protect that and not do stupid stuff.
Right.
We got to think.
Because it can end up pretty bad. We saw that with
Yeah, definitely. You saw that with Big E, and we saw that with Tupac, the East Coast, West Coast thing. So let's be smart and understand. Let's utilize this momentum, you know, in a positive way to create opportunities, not to stifle.
Well, speaking of momentum, we are, like I said, we are in Atlanta. We keep saying that because we influence everything. Right now, it's StudioSetStage. That's the name of this show, right?
Yes, it is.
But
don't forget it.
At some points, you have to step out of that realm and start talking about politics. And you're probably like, oh, Cynthia, I don't really want to talk about politics. But let me tell you something. Everything in your life, even in this business, is run by politics, which leads us to say we are so excited about the Georgia Democratic gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams, who we feel like is headed to win the governorship here in Georgia, right? So as you know, so for some of you who don't know, but hell, you got to be up under a rock if you haven't heard of Stacey Abrams. But she holds degrees from Spelman College, the LBJ School of Public Affairs at the University of Texas, and Yale Law School. And I just got to say, I used to host a news and public affairs show at one of the radio stations here in Atlanta, one of the top stations here in Atlanta. And I remember bringing her in for the public affairs show and just interviewing her when she was in the House. And I'm going to tell you something. I was so impressed with her. Like, I mean, at 34 years old, like, she became like the House Democratic leader in the state legislature. You know what I'm saying? It was just things, just amazing things. Like, she's always been on this path. Like, she moved from Mississippi, I think at 16 years old, and like she moved to DeKalb County or whatever. Like her stance on like criminal justice reform. You know, we always talk about our brothers. Like, I have cousins, and we all have family caught up in the system. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And they're caught up in the system behind crap. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Not even anything that's like substantial, like little stuff. So like I was just looking at Stacey Abrams' page, you know, and for all of you who don't know about her, she's running for governor in Georgia. This is a real chance for us to really change Georgia to blue. You know what I'm saying? Like her stance on criminal justice reform, you know, eliminating cash bail, you know, fines rather than jail time for small amounts of marijuana, you know, increased diversion, and then re-entry program. This is stuff that we need. You know what I'm saying? She's running against the Republican candidate Brian Kemp. And if you don't know him, I could just tell you, one of the commercial that he had out with the gun. Tell me about that.
Indeed.
What it like?
Yeah, that definitely drew a lot of controversy, and he's currently the Secretary of State, if I'm not mistaken. But I think even so, like you said, to support her, but definitely to emphasize what the importance is of your vote, and knowing that if you are not registered to vote, please go ahead, register to vote. And if you are registered and you haven't voted, then you really are doing yourself and your community at large a disservice.
Well, I'm telling you, and especially if you're in like StudioSetStage,
Yes.
she is a proponent of continuing many of the tax breaks that Georgia enjoys right now, which is why you see so many film production, you see so many TV productions continuing to film in Georgia, and it's because of those tax breaks. You know what I'm saying? You go and you elect somebody like a Brian Kemp. You know what? You can just kiss all this wonderful billion-dollar industry that we have attracted in Georgia. You can kiss it goodbye.
Eventually, yes.
So you're in the business because you're listening to this podcast.
Right.
So you're in the business of StudioSetStage. So Stacey Abrams is who StudioSetStage is endorsing. You know what I'm saying? We are endorsing her wholeheartedly. It has been reported that women probably will decide this election. So the election day, it's November 6th.
November
Get
6th.
out, carpool, do whatever you got to do. But I will tell you that early voting is happening now.
Yeah, early voting is happening, and records have actually been broken.
Yes.
Over this past month in terms of voter turnout. But I encourage those definitely need your support, and if you want to see change, where it doesn't come down to where they say one vote doesn't count, one vote does count, your vote counts. So make it count on November the 6th.
All right, don't forget, this is StudioSetStage. We are online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Follow us, subscribe to our channels,
Yes, indeed.
like, comment. Let us know how we doing.
Yes, indeed. Let us know, because we appreciate the love and support. And without you, this would not be possible. So definitely continue to give us the support, and we're going to continue to do this and bring you a new podcast every week.
All right, guys, we gone.
Peace.
Next time.
This has been a StudioSetStage podcast production, copyright 2018, all rights reserved.